Sudanese Australian women face unique challenges balancing cultural expectations and personal ambitions. 3, 2, 1.
It's a big question. So I'm going to tackle the cultural expectation first. So Sydney's household, obviously, they're very, women sort of are they take care of the kids, they take care of the house, they do the cooking and the cleaning, and the men sort of, they work, and women serve men tea on platters. There's a lot of like cultural expectation where they're makers of a home, essentially. And when you grow up, that's what you're taught when you're young. And I feel like when that then becomes a tussle with, ambition, personally, is when I got to, the later years of high school and then uni, and I have a lot of work on my plate, plus I'm working a job, but I'm expected to still come home and do the cooking and the cleaning despite having younger siblings that are male that could also be helping. So I think yes, I think we're in a very unique position, and it's definitely a challenge,
I agree with a lot of her points, and ever since we came to this country and to this new society, they've kind of had to tackle the cultural side and also trying to integrate into this culture, and it can be hard because there are two different cultures entirely, and also with them trying to progress their career and trying to tackle that child bringing and all that stuff that we have in our culture is hard to tackle, and you see a lot of them that are really burnt out, that just work really long hours and then just have to come home and have to take care of all this stuff. So yeah, it's really hard on them, and I feel like we have to really appreciate just what they do, and they just what they tackle all the time.
So I'm on this side because it's kind of your parents will teach you what they know and what they've been taught. They've been taught to look after the house, and that's their role in the house there. And the job is the man's job is to provide and to other things. But for example, in this country, it's kind of different. It's kind of, for example, for me as a male, it's kind of essential almost to learn how to cook, because if you don't, then it's part of survival. You can't wait for someone, or you got to do that yourself too. So I'm in this position because I feel like it's kind of both ways. The men got to kind of adapt, and kind of the women also, they kind of got to adapt also, and you make use of the opportunity.
I kind of have, even though I'm a male, I kind of have a small insight on it. That's why I appreciate a lot of the things that they do, because in my family, it's majority of males. And since I'm the oldest of the male, I've had to help out a lot, and I've seen a lot of what my mom has done for us and how she has provided a lot of things, physically and emotionally. Even though I'm not the greatest of cooks, but I still feel like I can get around the kitchen, just take care, taking care of myself and taking care of other people, because I've had to do that because I am the oldest, and I never really had a sister until lately, but they're the youngest, so I try to be that crutch so they don't have to really experience those aspects of our culture.
It took me a while to realize this until my sisters started telling me how my parents were more very soft on me, letting me do a lot of things at the age of 16. And they couldn't even do it until they was 21. So now I understand that we may have the exact same parents. We were raised by different parents, if that makes sense.
Our parents have done their job, bringing us here for education, health, and safety, and that's the biggest. And while they're doing that, they were given limited educational hours, which is 120 hours only for them to learn English and straight to work. And that work, there's not a lot of training, so they can understand what that is. so it become like a very heavy labor. And while they're doing that, when the kids go to school, they have to like prepare the food. You know, they have to like send money back home. On top of all of that, they have to speak to their siblings or to their old friends back home so they can keep that culture connection going. And when their kids come home again, you know, clean, cooking, and all of those things. And if there's like a single parent, it's a lot harder. If there's both, well, they can't really spend a lot of time at home. They rotate. So that love is lost as well. So I kind of like agree with that statement. If I get a chance, I go a lot further. But I think it's our turn to help our parents to understand the life here as well, since we've got the key and we've got the knowledge.
I just want to also add, like, I have so much empathy for my parents, especially my mum. I see my aunties, my mum, they are doing all the work that they're supposed to be doing, and then on top of that have a job. So I also have so much empathy towards them, and I want to help, because that's a lot of stress, and that's a different level of stress that I can't even imagine. But I also think there needs to be some more discourse and conversation around sort of changing those stereotypes in sort of the male-female household, because I think that's the way to move forward.
Yeah, I do agree with it, because straight away, like, it's very different. Back in our country, like in South Sudan, mainly, especially in the Dinka community, women, they normally just stay in the house, help the kids, and because there's not a lot of work that can be done there, because here people have jobs, but back home, like, there's not a lot of jobs that are available. So like more jobs that are available are like more of like, you know, male type of jobs, and people believe that, you know, women wouldn't be able to do those jobs. Like, people, they still believe it, even in this kind of age right now. They still believe, you know, women like can, like, they stay like where, you know, look after the kids and all other like emotional stuff. So when they come here, it's very different, because when they come here, you know, they are expected to work as well, and when they come home, they gotta look after the kids and cook, which is very confusing, you know. So it's like, as of us who grew up here, I would like 100%, you know, say that it's better here, that, you know, if you help your wife, you can help them do a lot of things, because all that is past, man. Like, we're not doing all that anymore. Like, you know, this is that, but
I love being Sudanese and Australian. 3, 2, 1.
I gotta agree with this one. Like, I'm very proud to be South Sudanese. Australian, like, I've been here for 21 years now. This is all I know. As far as I'm concerned, it's cool. Obviously, it has its ups and downs, but it's like, that's just life, really. And yeah, I like it out here. I like who I am. I wouldn't really change that to be something else. So yeah, that's why I gotta agree with this one.
Absolutely. Tallest, darkest people in the world. Absolutely. Making leeway in sports and modelling. I'm absolutely proud to be South Sudanese and Australian. I'm happy to be in this country with the opportunity it has and to be able to give back. And yeah.
I am in the middle. Like, I agree, but I'm in the middle because of kind of like, right now I am more, I've learned a lot about myself, and I've kind of like feel like I've grown as a whole as a person, because back then I was kind of like in a conflict kind of, I was proud of being South Sudanese, but there were like some aspects growing up as a child where it was like really tough to face, because we were the only family in our primary school for a really long time, so you can imagine how tough that was. But I've grown as a person. I've feel like I'm more inclusive in my thinking and more broad-minded, but also just, yeah.
I'm proud to be South Sudanese. You know, I came here when I was 15, so I've got like that, you know, that different perspective, the South Sudanese perspective, African perspective, you can call it. Or I call myself a third culture kid. because I traveled the world. But by the end of the day, I love being South Sudanese because, we've got unity in our collective thinking, and that's something beautiful. But when an outsider kind of comes in and just disrupt the peace, that's when we actually lose a little bit. But we've got strength, we've got resilience, and also we are really good in terms of like welcoming other culture, integrating into different cultures, and easygoing. But one thing that we don't like is when somebody disrespect us, then we disrespect them back. But apart from that, I love being South Sudanese, and I want to kind of like show more of our culture, more of our story, more of our food, more of our, how men actually behave, and also how men respect women and children, and how the family actually raise and educate a child. So that's all of those different cultural aspects. We have it. It's just we haven't exposed it yet. And I love being Australian, just in terms of like the education, as I said earlier, safety, finance-wise, having a car and all of those things is all sweet, but this is just a dream. But to actually live life, you got to be South Sudanese to try that.
Just before.
End the episode.
Yeah, 100%. I'm proud to be South Sudanese. The youngest country in the world, and tall. I wouldn't say me. I'm one of I'm one of those one who is like on the other side. When I say Sudanese, they'll be like, "Where's the height at?" But hey, my brothers are all tall. Okay, so and I know my sons are gonna be in the NBA. So of course, you know what I mean. So. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And Australian, yeah, of course, Australia is still, South Sudan, Australia, we still have like big names out of there. So, yeah, 100% agree, and I'm proud.
Heck yeah, that goes without saying, South Sudan, way yay. Yeah. But am I proud to be Australian? I don't know what that means personally, because is it a certificate? Is it an identity? Because obviously I'm not pale in skin color, and I'm not indigenous to the country as the indigenous landowners are. So I'm kind of battling with that. I don't know what it means to be Australian. So yeah, it's a yes and a no.
So a final statement would be, like, I'm proud of my brothers here and the sister as well to be part of this show, because as I said earlier on, we need to take charge of our narrative, of our stories, and also our characters, and we are the representation of that. We are the South Sudanese Australian, and we're proud to be able to share some insight of our stories. Yeah.
And on that note, well done. Great episode. Hug it out. Hug it out. Hug it out. Woo! Wow, tough, man. That was amazing. You guys did amazing. Yeah, well done. You guys did amazing. You guys did amazing.